Sup, you six bitches? My name is Sterling, and welcome to the channel. This would like to read some of the best and most upvoted stories on Reddit, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, because usually I read stories and I give a rant on each story. We're going to be going to the subreddit r/unpopular opinions. I'm just going to read the opinion. I'm not going to give 2 cents. I'm not going to commentate on the actual story of what the opinion is. We're going to leave that completely up to you. What is your opinion on these opinions? Here we go. Our first unpopular opinion comes from Mystic Penguin 3. Vanilla is not plain. It is a flavor, and it's a damn good one too. I hate when always being teased for ordering vanilla ice cream or buying vanilla cake. No, vanilla is not plain. It's a flavor, and there's such a thing as plain ice cream. Nasty, by the way. If anything, chocolate is more plain than vanilla, since literally everything can be chocolate. Edit. Wow. Didn't expect so many people liked vanilla. It's been brought to my attention that in some cases, vanilla actually is plain. Most of the time, however, it is just called vanilla and doesn't actually have any vanilla flavoring, which doesn't help vanilla's reputation at all, so I'm referring specifically to vanilla flavored things. Unpopular opinion 2 by Slightly Bent 1. If a police chief coordinates a no-knock raid and they go to the wrong house, they should be charged with whatever happens. Like breaking and entering, assaulting with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, first-degree murder, terrorism, etc. The coordinating police chief is charged of the raid should be held responsible for whatever happens. Unpopular opinion 3 by Tobian. You guys have terrible taste in porn. Sorting by most popular proves it. What the hell is this? 4K blondes with huge plastic breasts having cliche American porn sex with Chad? What's erotic or even remotely interesting about that? It's the porn equivalent of listening to Nickelback. Our next opinion is by Too Feud Mamie. I'd much rather let a 13-year-old play Doom or Resident Evil than them have a social media app and actively engage with strangers. I hope this doesn't come off as an I don't understand this new social media thing, so I hate it and think it's going to rot my kid's brain. If my kid wants to play single-player games, even if they have gores, horrors, and sex scenes, I don't mind letting them play these games because I trust my ability to guide them and to point out and explain any potential problematic areas. But with social media, things are totally different. While Instagram and Facebook, Snapchat still let you engage with your friends, many others just open up to the public and anyone can engage. Things like Discord and Twitter and pretty much every comment section underneath an online video and online game voice lobbies. Knowing that behind those aren't codes and pixels but real human beings makes me uncomfortable. Not to say that we should just ban social media, but that anything that just opens up to the public should have a 17+ tag on it. This unpopular opinion was so unpopular that the person deleted their account. If you gave a pill to overweight people that made them magically wake up to their ideal body weight, they would take the pill. I love my body the way it is just insecure posturing. If Lizzo could look like Gabrielle Union, she would. If James Gordon could look like Ryan Philippe, he would. I realize everybody's body is different, but being overweight is over. What your weight should be for your body, this changes for every person. Full disclosure, I'm about 60 pounds overweight, and I'm included in my statement. I don't like the way that I look and feel, but I'm not out here like, I love my curves. This one is from Neo is my dad. Fuck you if you record yourself giving things to homeless people. You see it all over the internet these days. People recording themselves giving food or money or whatever to homeless people. All it is for these people is a personal boost, a way to get views on the internet and make themselves feel more important. I think these actions should be shot down, not praised, and receive 10 million video views. If you're really this good person you claim to be, you would give to the homeless, give to shelters, help people, and not tell anyone else about it. It's that simple. Edit. I don't think people should stop giving to the homeless altogether, just stop recording it. In my eyes, it's just another thing that proves how shitty people are. Instead of giving because they care about their fellow human, they're giving strictly for the image. Here's another unpopular opinion that was so unpopular that they deleted their account. Making fun of men who lose their hair because of male pattern baldness is body shaming. Watching yourself lose all of your hair and not being able to do anything about it is an agonizing process, and no one deserves to be made fun of for it. It's just as bad as any other form of body shaming, and people who do it should be called out on it. If you think making fun of people who are fat, skinny, small, big, etc., is bad, but making fun of bald people is okay, then you're a hypocrite. Our next opinion comes from Waxier95. Until sentenced, the name, face, and information of the accused should not be released publicly. This way, anyone falsely accused does not get their name dragged through the sand until they have been convicted. We have made it too easy to destroy people's lives on false accusations. I believe protecting the innocent is just as important as protecting the guilty. The only downside would be if someone had evidence on the accused, but this could also be found as part of the investigation process. So maybe a better definition if the initial hearing is not dismissed and the judge wants to pursue the case further. I just don't think it's fair to lose your job or something that is dismissed in 5 minutes in court just because that's all someone with the false accusation wants. The next opinion comes from Jonah Flash. If exposing yourself to someone without consent is a crime, sudden porn pop-up ads should be illegal. When browsing on some shady websites that aren't centered around pornography, I'm sure we've all had porn ads with either partial or full nudity pop up out of nowhere on the sidebar. Just because you're on a website that requires 18 plus does not mean that it should be perfectly fine to show porn without the consent of the viewer. For example, on Spotify, I didn't listen to any sexual content or sexual podcasts. However, I got recommended a show called Hentai with Senpai, and I have to deal with the extraordinary sexualized hentai face on my home screen. I'm not even the only person who deals with this specific show showing up on their home screen unsolicited. So to reiterate, if exposing yourself to someone without their consent, even if they're 18 years old or up, is a crime, then it should also be a crime to show nude or sexual content to people on pop-up ads without their consent. This unpopular opinion comes from Mr. Blue 630. Telling a guy to man up is the same as telling women to get back in the kitchen. I see a lot of posts on Reddit of people who have gone through traumatic experience in their lives, be it war, rape, suicide, depression, that sort of stuff. Usually 50% of the comment threads consist of man up and X can't happen to men. It's annoying as all hell, and yeah, often these comments get downvoted, but enough to send them straight to the bottom of the list. This opinion is from Advanced Tangelo. Multiplayer is killing video games and sucking the joy out of them. Single player and local co-op are far the superior versions. Video games have become all about competition and getting the flashiest new upgrades, or spending hundreds of dollars every cycle only to have all your achievements washed away at the end of each one. Every forum is filled with hardcore players who do their best to ruin the game for those new to it, and the idea of coming home to relax to a video game is dead in the water. Games used to be about the story more than the mechanics and the competition. All the big companies are now running after the online money, while good story-driven games are being pushed under the radar and independent artists are being killed by lack of support. Tons of franchises like FIFA, COD, NFS, and Halo that used to be great are now terrible in the campaign. Meanwhile, games like Fortnite, Valorant, and Apex are so hyper-competitive that they have sucked the joy out of gaming. Every time I see an old title or AAA studio come out with the words multiplayer in the description, I feel a sense of dread now. This opinion comes from Ace is Alive. The USA suicide hotline is terrible and shouldn't be promoted. I know a bunch of doctors and celebrities and pretty much everyone else is all for giving just about everyone the number to the suicide hotline and pretending they are helping. They aren't. I've called them myself, spoke to countless of other individuals about their first-hand experiences, and read the stories. Most of the time, the suicide hotline ends up doing more harm than good. They have been known to hang up on people in crisis, prematurely call the police on their callers, and use very scripted methods that usually don't help. I've brought this up to multiple mental health professionals and they know the line sucks, but they still send it out. It's overglorified so people can feel like they're making a difference or helping when in reality, they're recommending something that does more harm than good. This opinion is by Deck2292. I highly respect millennials that walk out on jobs or any inconvenience in their life. As a young man in his late 50s, I wish I had the balls to walk off the job when I was younger. After starting my own business and spending years in upper management, I have to say I love millennials and think they will change the workplace for the better. Seeing a 20-year-old college grad say that's not my job and not in my job description always gave me an envy boner. Watching a middle manager retort with, if you don't like the job, leave, and having the millennial fire back, I'll send out 100 applications on Indeed tonight and have a new one tomorrow. Bye. Want to know what that makes me do? I think hard about how my employees are treated and how well they are paid because in today's day and age, my job is just as replaceable as they are. Keep ghosting and walking away, my young friends. I get it. Our last unpopular opinion is by Deleted. Middle-aged guys don't buy sports cars because they're having a midlife crisis. It's because they can finally afford the car they want. I hate hearing people say, oh, he got that Corvette because he's balding and needs to feel younger. No. No. As someone who's never earned much money because I made this spectacular decision to do what I love rather than what was lucrative, I'm finally in a position in my late 30s where I can actually save up to buy my dream car. I get it if cars aren't important to you. I get it if you dislike the impact they have on the environment. I get it if you think sports cars are too expensive and a hassle. I get it if you see a 40-something-year-old guy buy a BMW M3 and assume he's compensating for something. But realize that automotive enthusiasm is a huge part of life for a lot of people and can often be the biggest connection they have to their family members or friends. As a car enthusiast, I look forward to increased electrification for a lower carbon footprint and ridiculous torque for a better acceleration. I accept that my budget will have to increase for a cool, exotic car and decrease for other pursuits. It's worth it to me. Just like you might enjoy collecting stamps or having a closet full of nice clothes. It's also the first thing I talk about when I call my dad, since he used to race cars and motorcycles in the 70s. We bond over cars and car news. So, the next time you see some guy with graying temples and a widow's peak driving a Ferrari, understand it might be the realization of a dream from childhood and try to, not crap on that dream because it's not your dream. That was r/unpopular opinions. Hit the bell and subscribe button to see more videos. Later, everyone.